desperation. Press up against the wall. A lack of common inspiration.
Welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to, obviously you saw the demo already, I'm going to talk about the new NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. That is a mouthful. Okay, so this costs $48 I believe, and it's relatively new. It is available at Sephora now. Oh, my hair. It is currently available at Sephora, but I did have some issues with this foundation. I don't want to talk about it too much because then that might take up too much time, but we'll just say that it took me 3 times to finally get my color, because I first ordered from the NARS website and their descriptions were just completely wrong, and I ordered a shade that was way too light for me. Like, I looked like a ghost. And then NARS took 2 weeks to send me a return label, and I don't know if that's normal for them, but I had to contact them like 5 times in order to finally get my return label. So that's just gonna be my quick rant about their customer service. I was not at all happy. I've ordered with them before, but this time it just really kind of like cut it for me. And then I went to Sephora. I didn't go to Sephora. I ordered from Sephora's website as soon as this foundation became available. And I used their color IQ to find my correct shade, and then I ordered it, and then it was still too light. It was still completely too light. The thing with the description of their foundations is that on, I believe it's on NARS's website, I first got the shade in Duvel, which I believe they said was like light neutral, and usually I am light, but this was like fair for me. Like, it was just terrible. Like, I could use it. I don't even know if I could use it because I'm kind of at my lightest right now. And then I ordered Salin from Sephora, and that was still really light, and that was considered medium. I think the description of the shades differed from the Sephora website and the NARS website, so it's not at all consistent. And then I ended up, after I went to the Sephora store to exchange it, I ended up with the shade in Punjab, which looked really dark online, but this works really well for me. It's really golden. At first when I used it, I was like, ooh, this is like really yellow and golden on me, but then after I apply foundation or concealer to highlight and everything like that, it works out really well. And after I got used to it a little bit, I do really like this shade for me right now. And I think even later, whenever I darken up a little bit as the weather gets warmer, I think this will still work really well for me. So getting on to it, today the primer that I use is actually the Napoleon Purity Autopilot Pre-Foundation Primer, which is a hydrating one. And I used my e.l.f. Kabuki brush to apply this foundation. I don't recommend at all the beauty blender to put this on, because the first time I did that, it was terrible. Like, the foundation started like balling up on my face, and I was just like it was disgusting. And so I then tried a stippling brush, and it does work fine. It works really well. But I just don't prefer the way that it looks with the stippling brush. And so I just used my $3 or $6, I think, $6 e.l.f. Kabuki brush, because it's soft enough and it doesn't tug at your skin very much whenever you apply this. When you apply this. So the thing is with this, they say that it is a one-drop wonder. And as you saw in my demo, I was using 3 drops because I don't like the coverage of just one drop. Okay, I used 2 for my base, and then I used the third one to put over my highlight because my highlight is really pale compared to me, and so I used it as a highlighting base, and then I go back over it with this to kind of neutralize the color to make it look a bit more natural. This foundation does dry a bit quick. It doesn't dry as quickly as the Becca Ultimate Coverage, but it does dry really quickly. Like if you don't start working into it fast enough, then you'll see like a little dot or a little speckle wherever you let it sit for too long. So whenever you use this, work quickly. I used my Paula palette to apply this onto, so that way I could dip as much as I want and, you know, not have it like run down my hand because this is relatively thin. I will say that this is probably, it's very versatile. Okay, so with one coat, I guess, or with one layer, you still see your blemishes shining through, so it can look very, very natural. And then with 2 coats, it's more medium to full coverage depending on how you work it into your skin. With 2 coats, it covers all of my blemishes and all my dark spots and everything like that. So I would say that applying 2 coats is pretty full coverage, or it's enough coverage for me. If you go for the 3rd coat, then you're definitely gonna have full coverage. So I mean, some people, they prefer to have like full coverage immediately, but if you are looking for a foundation that will give you a natural look but at the same time can potentially be full coverage, this is a really good foundation. I feel like Luminous, as part as it claiming to be luminous, it's not very luminous. I think it's a semi-matte, and so you don't get that much of a natural look to it. You're gonna have to add some shine back to your face to make it look the least bit luminous, because this isn't, yeah, no, not at all. I don't think so. Not to me anyways. Yeah, so as I showed you all, it does have a cap and everything like that, which is great. As far as the wear, it does wear really well for me all day. Whenever I blow my nose, the foundation does come off, but it's not completely noticeable, like as if like, oh my gosh, she has like a big spot of no foundation on her face. So I don't want to say that it's transfer proof, because it does come off if you blow your nose like how I do. Some people, they really want foundations that don't crease at all, but this does crease for me a teeny bit around my laugh lines, but then every single foundation I wear creases at my laugh lines. So that isn't a deciding factor for me, because all foundations do that, like regardless of how thin it is for me, or you know, anything like that. So that's kind of like, I don't recommend it for dry skin. If you have, okay, I recommend it for dry skin if you have patchy skin. If you have dry patches, then this is definitely going to stick to it. Like, it is going to emphasize them to no end. So I don't recommend this if you have dry patchy skin. If you have, I have combo skin, by the way, but I don't notice it making my forehead more oily than it usually gets, so that's really good. So I mean, I recommend this for everyone except for people with dry patchy skin. But I mean, I feel like this is a good foundation. For the price of $48, I think it's pretty expensive. I think this is one of the most expensive foundations that I have. Yeah, so that is all for this review. I tried to make it as quick as possible, but I don't think I made that happen at all. Yeah. But if there's anything that I missed, please let me know, so that way I could type it below in the description. You can order this at Sephora, or you can get it from the NARS website, but I don't recommend that because they might take like 2 weeks to give you a return label if you get the wrong color. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts below in the comments. Please give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all really soon. Bye.